Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We've got a lot of good guests. Got one of my guests just starting off with me this morning. Colonel, how you doing this morning?
Just fine. How you doing?
Did you watch any football this weekend?
Yeah, I watched a little bit.
Oh
yeah.
Who's your team? Who's your team?
My favorite team?
Your favorite team?
Of course, Troy Trojan.
Go Trojans.
We was off this weekend, but
yeah, we played Wednesday night. We actually
That's
won
right.
Wednesday night 37-13, which was a big game for Troy. Troy needed to beat South Alabama.
That's right.
And the high school schools, Charles Henderson, they was 27, Tallis 0, Goshen 56 to 6 over Central, Pike Lil. They struggling this year, but I talked to one of the players and he told me they had a lot of injuries. And Pike County is on a roll, 44-13 over Opp. I tell you something. I just feel it's another one of these Pike County teams that is going to win a lot of games. But I was talking to you, me and you had the pleasure of eating breakfast, and we got to talking about traffic and what do you look for as an officer, and that's what Truck Talk is all about, being safe and stuff. And you said something to me that I think I'm guilty of. I just didn't say it at breakfast. Tell me how to merge.
The purpose of merging is where traffic never stops moving. And what a lot of people do is you'll see a sign say merging ahead 500 feet or whatever, and they'll wait to the last second to merge. And when they do that, somebody has to stop to let them in. The purpose of merging is the moment you see a merging sign ahead, people should begin to merge immediately. And if everybody would do that, traffic would keep flowing and would never stop.
Never stop. Well, I'm gonna start watching. I want to ask you something else. If you are in a traffic situation, we got to talking about traffic lights over breakfast, and you were saying one of the worst things big trucks can do.
Well, it's stay in the right lane. And what trucks will do is they'll be at a red light, especially going uphill. They'll pull up in the passing lane, get side by side, and those trucks will hold up the traffic, which create road rage, and they slow the traffic down. But if everybody would just get in line in the right lane until they get to rolling, then maybe they can pass somewhere down the road.
And I had to ask you a question that we didn't talk about at breakfast, but I've noticed this when you be on the road and people see an accident.
What we call the rubberneckers.
Rubberneckers.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want to see nobody hurt, and I don't want to get in y'all way. You got your suits on, you're trying to direct traffic, and somebody, that's a mean officer, because I've seen some of them like, come on here.
Yes, what you need to do is pay attention to your driving. Let us handle the wreck scene, and you need to pay attention to the vehicles in front of you, because traffic will stop, and you busy trying to look, and traffic stop, and then you run in. Now we got a second wreck there.
I wish this morning that my daughter, my stepdaughter Lily, would have been here. Me and her go to the store every Thursday, and she tell me, she say, you know everybody. I can tell you that this morning. You know Miss Judy. You know one of my guests I got coming. You knew everybody at Julius where we eat breakfast at. So how many years you been around here?
I've been a trooper about 2 months shy of 35 years.
That's a long time.
Yes, sir.
You probably saw a lot of things in that time.
Yes, I have.
And we talk about being safe, and I know you have breakfast sometime without safety, man. What would you tell a young driver that I'm recruiting out of a school and he's about to start this journey, what would be one of the key things? I know you got something key you could tell him.
What I would tell them, starting out new, and it's even for the folks that's been driving a while, you need to always be safety minded. Always safety minded. Protect that CDL. And when I say protect that CDL, you know, you don't get the speeding tickets. You don't get the falling too close. You don't get a DUI. You don't do drugs. Protect that CDL, because that's your career. That's your lifeline. And you must never do that. Always be thinking safety when you out here driving.
You know, we got to talking about alcohol and the CDL, and you made a very statement that I always try to get something out of every conversation I have. I was taught by that by Mr. Wiley, but you said that a lot of people drink at night and they don't really realize how much they consume, and they get up the next day and they go to work, and you were saying that they don't have to cause the accident, but if the accident happens and you detect that.
You must always be clean when you're driving, especially a commercial vehicle, but driving anything. And what a lot of people do, they'll party all day the day before and half the night, and they will wind up getting a DUI the next morning because they get stopped and they think they done sobered up. Back when I was working the road as a trooper, I have stopped many people on Sunday around lunchtime and pull them over, and they were still under the influence of alcohol. And I asked them, when was the last time you had anything to drink? And they'll say midnight, 1 o'clock. And they went to bed and got up and drove back the next morning. But the problem was they drank so much that it was still alcohol in their system, and they were still under the influence of alcohol.
You know, that reminds me of eating. And as I eat so much, I'm still full. You know, I said that Spring Hill is having the volunteer fire department is having a big barbecue November the 2nd. They cooking Boston Buzz barbecue plates. If you hear, I want you to have some of that camp stew. Mr. Wiley, I used to carry it to him. Oh my God, he loved camp stew. And if you ever try it, if you like camp stew, those guys down there in Spring Hill can really make. It was good to talk to you. I thank you so much for taking time out your schedule to try to help somebody be safe and tell us about what you guys are looking for, because y'all not against us, y'all are for us. You want to help us.
That's correct. Listen, Alabama Law Enforcement Agency is all about safety. That was the reason for the motor carrier rules that come about in the early 80s that we started enforcing in the state. It's just trying to reduce those crashes, injuries, and fatalities involving commercial vehicles.
Well, we thank y'all for the job you do. We thank y'all. We'll be right back with some more guests right here on Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
Are you ready?
Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did. Are you a driver trainee looking for a job? Then come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we reimburse you for your driver training pay. Thank you so much for bringing Reed State to Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
Absolutely. And now that we brought them to you, what do you have to offer them?
I have a lot to offer them. I can offer them 401k. I can give them 4% of their gross pay. I can give them Blue Cross Blue Shield. I can get them home twice a week and every weekend. That's right, twice a week, every weekend. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Thank you, sir.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay. 4%, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. And we're back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders. Miss Judy, how you doing?
I'm just
Good
fine.
to see
How
you
are
this
you?
morning. You asked me what was I going to talk to you about. I'm talking about you.
That's a
Every
lot.
time I come in Troy Bank and Trust Bank, I see you back there and you just a smile and you're busy. You told me the other day, how many people was there when you went to work there?
18.
18 people.
And
And
that-
you've been there how long?
Over 50 years.
That's a long time.
Yes,
That's a
it is.
long time. That's long. You ever been to Spring Hill and had some barbecue?
Yes, I have, and it is delicious.
Which one did you have? The Boston Butt or the barbecue plate or the camp stuff?
I've had the camp stew and the Boston butt.
Well, you knew my late boss, Mr. Wiley Sanders.
We were in school together.
That's amazing. And you know, your face at the bank is just always a cheerful face.
Thank you.
Now, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but if you've been there 53 years, how long you
And
been?
more.
How long you been here?
What you mean here?
How old are you?
I don't mind telling anybody I am proud. I am 79 years of age.
And go to work every day.
That's right.
And go to work every day with a smile on your face. Miss Judy, thank you so much for coming. You bought something here. Did you want to show us about your man?
Yes, this is our Advantage 55 brochure. This tells everything about our Advantage 55 organization that we have at the bank. Easy to join, only 3 qualifications. 55 years of age,
I got that.
$15,000.
Uh-oh.
Come on now.
Uh-oh.
You can have it in a certificate of deposit upstairs in our investment area, in an IRA. It can be a combination of those 3, and a checking account. And you get extra benefits by being an Advantage 55 member.
I might have to check into that. Are you one?
Yes, I am. You know I am.
I know you are.
Yes, I would glad to be delighted to sign you up, Jeffrey.
He'll sign me up, but I tell you what, won't nobody else sign me up but you.
Well, if I'm not there, don't hesitate to sign up. Any of our personal bankers could sign anyone up that qualify for it. And we've been in existence with this program 28 years.
28. Yeah, I want everybody to see this. I want to hold it up where everybody can see it. That is just so good. And 55 years old, and you told me $15,000.
Yes.
$15,000, and it's an investment account, right?
A certificate of deposit upstairs in our investment account, or either an IRA, which is an individual retirement account. You have your 401k with Sanders. So when someone gets ready to retire, then they can roll it over to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when they retire.
When I retire, I'm gonna roll mine. I
Yeah.
gotta roll them. But you know, you talk about Sanders and our retirement plan. That is just so good. You know, when you're working somewhere and you putting in 4% and they match 4%.
It's wonderful.
That is one of the greatest things Mr. Sanders has done for us, and I can see the difference. I can see the difference at 4%. Miss Judy, I am so glad that you took time out your busy schedule to come and see me. But can I tell what you told me before you first got on there?
No telling. Well, now was it clean?
It was clean. I asked you, had you ever rolled in a truck? And you told me, no, I ain't never had a boyfriend that drove. I thought that was so cute.
No.
All right, fellas, y'all. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Are you a driver trainee looking for a job? Then come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we reimburse you for your driver training pay. Thank you so much for bringing Reed State to Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
Absolutely. And now that we brought them to you, what do you have to offer them?
I have a lot to offer them. I can offer them 401k. I can give them 4% of their gross pay. I can give them Blue Cross Blue Shield. I can get them home twice a week and every weekend. That's right, twice a week, every weekend. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Thank you, sir. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, money, money, money. Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We get you home on the weekend to watch football. Wiley Sanders. Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend? Wiley Sanders. Money, money, money. Let me have that football. Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did. And we're back. As you can see, we have a lot of guests this morning, and that's what Truck Talk was all about. And everybody gonna say that I love to eat, which is true. And I keep talking about the volunteer fire department in Spring Hill. Have you ever had their barbecue? That's the first thing I want to ask you. Have you ever had? You have not. You got to go to Spring Hill, yes. November the 2nd.
I will.
I think Truck Talk is gonna buy some plates, and I got to figure out how we can get them to them. I'm gonna buy you a plate.
I appreciate that. Thank you
I'm
very much.
not gonna buy Jim Jackson one. I'm gonna talk him into buying me one, and then I'm gonna get you one.
All right, thank you.
Buffy, you did a lot of stuff. I was reading this Sunday, and I don't even know where to start. But what is the biggest accomplishment that you feel? Is it the book?
I think my books are definitely a big accomplishment, but I think that the work that I do with students has been my biggest accomplishment. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the name of that program that you do with students, I'm going to let you tell us.
Well, it's a compilation of a lot of things. I'm a licensed professional counselor. So one of the things when I moved back to the Troy area, because I'm so passionate about making a difference in the area in which I grew up in, I wanted to come back and do something that would impact the youth and be able to enrich their lives. So one of the things I did was I developed some books in order to allow students to be able to explore education in different ways, and that's the basic premise of the book.
You know, when you said that about Troy, that
Yes.
you wanted to do something in the area you grew up in, that's what we're about. Doing something in the area that we're here. And I go to school now, and I'll tell a student that you can come here, you can get a job, you can get a job driving a truck. That's Jim Jackson sitting out there.
Yeah.
He's got 2 places. You can get a job there. You got counseling for them.
Yeah.
Troy is not a bad place to live in.
Right, correct.
Actually, we're growing.
Yes.
And people like you would make our community grow. People like Jim and people like Sanders. And I don't never want nobody to think we're the only game in town.
Right.
We just want to participate.
Absolutely.
We're like a big football team. And you know, when I talk to guys and they're not selling where they living at and they looking to move, I feel good to say, come to Troy.
Right.
Come to Troy.
Yeah.
And I talked to your husband sometime in the gym, and he told me you help a lot of people. You do a lot of counseling. Is that your field? Is that what you wanted to do always? You always had a compassion for that?
Yeah, I had a passion for that because growing up, I graduated from Goshen High School. And growing up, I always saw counselors, but I never saw an African-American counselor. And so one of the things I wanted to be able to do, because I think sometimes students are reluctant to go and see someone if they're not of the same background. Not that they can't always be assisted in any area with anyone, but I just saw that there was a need for that, and I wanted to be able to assist them and give them something that I never had. And so
These books that you wrote, what was that page that I had? You wrote all those?
I did. Yes,
That's
I did.
12.
12 books. Yes.
12 books, ladies and 12 books. That's, I wish you had bought one.
And they're all available on Amazon.com.
Amazon.com?
Yes, yes.
And if I want to order one of your books, I want you to tell everybody, if I want to order one of your books, tell me the steps I would take.
You go to Amazon and type in Buffy Williams, and all the listings will come up. We'll have books in the area of counseling, education, and healing forms. And we also have our academic workbook that is geared towards education programs.
Okay, you know me, you've seen me around Troy, you know a lot of which one of these books I need to read, because I know I need to read. Tell me which one I need to get.
I think that you would probably most likely like the one that's my memoir, which is my journey of living in Troy, moving back to Troy, and what I found so special about the Troy area.
About the Troy, and which one is that now?
It's the memoir.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to make sure I get that. Get me a copy of that, and I'll pay for it,
Absolutely.
because I promise you I won't get the time to
yes.
do that. I want to have you back on, and I want you to bring one, but the next time when I have you, I'm going to be able to read one of your books.
Okay.
I'm going to read
Sounds
one of your
good.
books, and you keep doing what you're doing in this community, and reach out to Truck Talk with Wallace Sanders at any time you need our help.
Definitely.
Anytime you need our
And
help.
I'd also like to tell the listeners that in addition to the books, I'll also be a volunteer radio host with the New Heights Education Group. So that will be also highlighting and spotlighting my books on that show.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you got a lot going on with those books, and keep doing that counseling. Keep doing whatever it takes to make Troy and our community better. And whatever I can do, whatever Sanders Truck Lines can do to help you, feel free to call on us.
We appreciate it.
I'm
Thank you so
serious.
much.
I've never said this, but I'm finna go to saying it, because a lot of people, you kind of ease the tension when you say, we do this at no charge. This is for our community. This is no charge. This doesn't charge you. I just happen to, really actually how I got you on the show, your husband was talking so good about a speech you had did.
Yes, over at Troy University.
Over at Troy University.
Yes.
And I told him, I said, well, she needs to be on Truck Talk.
Yeah, I did several speeches over there because we had Suicide Prevention Month last month. So I did about 5 talks to different groups at Troy University, just about stress management and how they can have good mental health.
Well, that's good, because that's a bad thing to take your own life. So I can see that would be good. Well, Buffy, that's what they call you.
That is
right?
correct.
I
That is
wanna
my
make
given
sure,
name.
I want to make sure. Buffy, it's so
Yeah.
good to talk. And
You as
thank
well.
you for
Thank you
taking
for having
your
me.
time out
I
to come.
appreciate it.
And I don't want this to be the last time. Like I say, the next time you come, I'm going to read the book that you told me to read. And
Yes.
I'm going to tell you what I found in the book.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to do it before this year's out.
All right.
I'm going to take time to
Thank
read.
you.
I'm actually reading another book right now. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying to say it takes me a little while.
That's okay. That's okay. That's perfectly fine.
Okay, we'll be right back. We got some food coming up. Well, the people that's going to cook the food. We're going to commercial break, and we'll be right back with Truck Talk with Wallace Sanders.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
At Wallace Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wallace Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wallace Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wallace Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wallace Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay, 4%. Wallace Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wallace Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, after 30 days of employment, that you can join our 401k retirement plan? That's right, we match it up to 4%. That's gross pay, 4% after 30 days of employment. Drive a Buck Division truck for Wiley Sanders Truck Line, be home twice a week and every weekend. You know, if these wheels roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, you make money. Home twice a week, every weekend. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, money, money, money. Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We get you home on the weekend to watch football. Wiley Sanders. Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend? Wiley Sanders. Money, money, money. Let me have that football.
I scored then. Do you believe I scored then?
Oh, yeah.
You believe I scored then? How you doing
I'm
this
good.
morning? Good to have you guys.
here.
I've been talking about your barbecue, but I'm going to let you guys talk about your barbecue. Tell us about the volunteer fire department. Tell me about it.
Well, we've been there probably 27, 28 years and been doing the barbecue the whole time. It's paid for the building, it's paid for a truck or two. And the community, they really show up and come out and support us. I mean, we do get some money from the state funds to help, but it's not enough for what we need, and you know, we depend on this to get the rest. I mean, once we pay insurance and fuel, and if anything breaks down, you know, money's gone. So you know, it's our fundraisers that really build up so we can actually operate and you know and help protect the residents of Spring Hill, and you know, and we mutual aid with Henderson and anybody that needs it, Brundage and Hamilton Crossroads, but.
A lot of work goes into that.
Very
A lot of
So
work.
y'all get up at like what time? I mean,
About 4 o'clock in the morning
Yeah,
to start.
they usually tell me to be there at 4, but I can't get there around 5. But it's a lot of work.
and that is some good barbecue. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not just saying this. I mean, I've had it every year that I've been in Troy, that y'all been there. Like I say, my boss, Mr. Sanders, he used to love it.
Yeah.
I'd always carry him some of it, and he could tell that it was good camp stew. You could tell the difference. He knew you got this down there in Spring Hill.
Yeah.
But you guys do that. You do this for your community.
For our community and for us to operate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
If somebody have a fire, you're the guys that are going to come, right?
Yes.
People don't realize how important that is. That's
Yeah.
just,
You
it
know-
could be the matter of
Yeah.
losing a home or saving a home.
Exactly.
That's correct. That's
Exactly.
correct. That-
You know, we respond to motor vehicle accidents, of course, brush fires, which there's been quite a few before this rain, and just you know, very few medical calls, but anybody in Spring Hill needs help. I mean, they call.
What do you try to tell people when it was dry like we had just a couple of weeks ago? What is a good safety tip? Cigarette throwing out? And
Yeah, just anything with a flame, do not, you know, that's no.
That's
Yeah, even parking the car on the side of the road with high grass that catch fire. You know, it's just throwing a cigarette out, burning some trash in your yard, just anything. One little ember gets in the woods, it's, you know, you've got a, you know, potential big fire.
Now, with your barbecue place, I see they're $8.
$7.
Camp stew. Camp stew is $8,
Yes.
and the barbecue place is $7. What all that comes with? I might
The-
need to put my glasses on.
The plates, well, you want
The plate comes with barbecue meat, of course, baked beans and rice, bread, and a slice of cake. It's,
Cake.
yes.
yeah.
You got my
Gotta
undivided.
have dessert.
I got
That's
my
correct.
undivided
Yeah.
attention. And where do you get your cakes from?
Some of the ladies bake them sometimes, and then we buy them.
We buy some from the Piggly Wiggly here in Troy also. With the bread is comes from the Piggly Wiggly as well.
Well, let me ask y'all this. How do y'all keep Derek Thompson from eating up the food?
He's cooking it.
Huh?
We try to keep him busy, working.
Keep him busy.
Yeah, he's big help. I'm gonna tell you. He's
not because he works with me, but he has made sure that I got these flyers and wanted me to talk to you guys about it. You know, when I admire young people when I see them trying to do good. I try to help out, do my part. And he's young, but he's trying to do good. I think he works with the Kellermans too, and he does a good job. And you guys do a good job. And
we try. And
once again, just tell everybody what time y'all have these plates ready and how they can. What about you? Don't do no delivering. You have to pick up.
Well, if it was several, we probably could bring it somewhere. Several plates or something, we could probably deliver it. I think we have to Wiley Sanders before.
Well, that's what I was sitting here thinking. I was thinking if Truck Talk sponsored some plates, and we just paid for a group of plates, and maybe you brought them to our guys for lunch as a treat to them. To some of my drivers, I took them to lunch the other day, and something I want to do once a month, but who says we can't do it twice?
We can arrange to get them delivered.
No doubt.
Well, you'll be. Get back with me. Yes, sir.
Oh, you said what times or whatever. Friday we cook camp stew, and so it's ready around lunchtime Friday the 1st.
Okay.
And then the butts are cooking most of the day, and they would probably be ready that Friday around 6. But now the plates is going to be Saturday. Lunch probably 3 or 4 hours they sell out. So if you want some, come soon.
Okay, but if I gave you a head count, you would make. Okay, and you could bring them to me.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and do y'all hear that? If you get how many plates would it take for y'all to deliver? Because we don't want nobody to call you and say bring them 2 plates.
Well, we'd do it for you if y'all wanted to.
No, but I'm just talking about for you.
Somewhere in the neighborhood. 10 plates.
Yeah, 10
Just
plates.
need to make it work.
You have to give a number nowadays. Yeah. You don't want nobody to call you and say I need 2 plates over here at Domino's.
Right.
Because like you said, it's a fundraiser, and you run a lot of gas.
Yeah.
Run a lot of gas and going, and people don't realize things. Everything costs us money.
Oh yeah.
And time, and you guys will never be repaid back from your time. The man upstairs will have to do that for y'all, because y'all do a good job. And I can speak strongly on it because I've had it.
Yeah.
And I went down there and I saw the togetherness of working, and y'all working together. Everybody's just like you say, just a busy little bee, got grills going and stuff.
This recipe originated from the first chief at Spring Hill, which Comer Williams, and then Ray Armstrong continued it, and then now we're doing it. But the recipe's probably well over, the camp stew recipe is probably well over 27 years old, but we've stuck with these same
and just left it like that.
Yeah.
Some things you just don't change. When it works, you just don't
leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, I love it. I've had it. And I can speak about this. I've had this camp stew, and you're not going to get no better camp stew around, and it's for a good cause. The best thing about that, the cause.
Yes.
The cause. Because it could be your family, my family. You don't never know who y'all may assist.
Exactly.
It's been a good fundraiser, but it takes a lot to operate the fire department. Some of that equipment's fairly expensive.
I would imagine. Y'all got decent equipment.
Yeah, we're lucky. The chief before me and the one before him, they've managed money good and got us in a position where we could have good equipment, and just maintaining that equipment. It costs money, and so that's what this is for.
So you're the chief?
Yes, sir.
Well, all right.
Assistant chief, Mark.
An assistant chief, okay. They just gave me you guys' name. I don't know. Well, I'm pleased to meet y'all and pleased to be here, have you here.
Thanks for having us.
And anytime that y'all doing something, that's what Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders is about. We want to stay in this community. I got this new thing going now. I'm just re-integrated again about going to schools. I always go to schools and I talk about come and drive a truck. But I've branched out now. I've said come and bring your children. Let your children go to our school. Let your children go to our college.
Yes.
Come be a part of our community. Gyms out there with 2 places that people can go to work. We got Golden Boy. We got some things in Troy.
Well, we've been blessed in Troy here.
We've been blessed in Troy. Pike County. I just would say Pike County. We've just been blessed, and it's just good to know it. When I was dealing with Mr. Charles, the Colonel of the State Trooper Department, and I felt so relaxed because I was like, Never met him before. But when he went to saying, hey, the people that I knew, you know, it made it easy. You know, just me and him had made that connection.
We worked alongside of the Alabama State Troopers, and that's a good bunch right there.
Yeah. And I wouldn't want to see this world without the law.
Yes.
You know, and he was giving us some safety tips. I mean, I drove a long time, and I'm bad when I'm merging to let somebody in. Like he said, once you stop, you stop everything. You can learn something every day. You can't. I tell everybody all the time. I teach Sunday school, but I tell everybody you can't teach if you can't be taught.
Yes.
You just can't.
That's a good one.
And like you just said, then you saw what the other 5 chiefs had did and what they had built, and you was determined to keep that going and keep the account. And like you say, it costs money, but hey, it's a good fundraiser. It's a good time for people to just get together. Because I've kind of hung out down there a little while. I've come down there to pick up stuff and not be quite ready or something. I just hang out and kick it with you guys, and y'all have it. It be smoky now.
Yeah. You're gonna smell like barbecue when you leave.
But that's good, hey. You guys keep it up.
Okay.
Y'all keep it up. Don't stop. Don't stop with your community, because it needs people like you and Derek Thompson and all the guys on there. We thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
We'll be right back.
Wallace on the truck line. Money, money, money. Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We get you home on the weekend to watch football. Wally Sanders. Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend? Wally Sanders. Money, money, money. Let me have that football. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay, 4%. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, after 30 days of employment, that you can join our 401k retirement plan? That's right, we match it up to 4%. That's gross pay, 4% after 30 days of employment. Drive a Buck Division truck for Wiley Sanders Truck Line, be home twice a week and every weekend. You know, if these wheels roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, you make money. Home twice a week. Every weekend, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come drive for the best today.
Are you ready?
And we're back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders with a good friend of mine, Jim Jackson. How you doing today?
Jeffrey, I'm doing good, man.
Well, should I call you Mr. Chevrolet or Mr. Ford?
Either one will work now. Either one works.
You know, we always telling people about coming to Troy and getting jobs and stuff. And you supply a lot of jobs in Troy, especially now.
Yeah, I think we're probably at about 60. Probably around 35 at the Chevrolet store and 25 at the Ford store. Been here 30 years, man, and it sure doesn't seem like it.
30 years.
August of 1989.
You know, that's everybody that comes on this show is either 30 or 25 years.
Right.
And you heard me tell the fire department a while ago, that's why when I go to schools now, I'm so filled up. I can look a guy that's 22, 23 years old and not really established that way yet. And I can say, come to Troy.
Exactly.
I don't have to say, come to Troy and drive a truck. I said, come to Troy, can you mechanic?
That's exactly right.
I got a good friend, got a Ford place. I got a good friend, got a Chevrolet place.
And
I know the man at Golden Boy.
Always looking for good people.
Looking for good people that want to work.
That's exactly right.
Work. In your years of being in the car business, the craziest question I could ask you is how many cars you ever sold.
Golly, my dad goes all the way back to the early 70s in Birmingham. I wouldn't have any idea.
I know. That's why
I
I
would
said.
have no
But you
clue.
know,
That would be an interesting thing to try to research and find out.
how many cars have you ever sold? I remember one day when I was looking at your truck, and I said, I got to have me one of them. And you looked at me and you said, it means nothing to me. You can get it.
Yeah,
you can get it. You
can-
said, I
you can
got
have
to
this one
ride
if you want it.
You said,
I
man.
just-
But that was the day I knew you was all right. You said, I'll tell you. I said, well, I only one pretty quick. You said, I get my stuff out there in
Yeah,
5 minutes.
I can have it cleaned out in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was good. And then I found out that Kurt loves to sell what you ride.
That excites Kurt so much is to be able to come. He'll wait till I'm going somewhere, and he'll wait till I get loaded. You know, I mean, if I'm going to a ball game, I'll have my grill or something and everything. And he waits till I'm pulling out, and he comes out and he says, I sold your truck. I need you to get your stuff out. And he'll have known it for 2 days, but he just waits till the perfect time. I just move on to something else.
I was talking to my boss about a week ago. We was riding a van. So you got to know you sell good product. We was riding a van that y'all went to the football game on like 5-6 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about it. He said, I remember this van. I said, how you remember? He said, because this is the same place I see it when we went.
That's right. We went to Tampa in that van.
Went to
Before
Tampa
they
in
bought.
it.
That's exactly right.
And he was telling me that, and I was trying to figure out. I said, why is he? And then he told me the story that y'all went to. We actually lost that game.
We did.
We lost that game.
We did. That was in 2016, I guess.
It looks like time flies.
It does.
You know what I tell people? If you got a job, it will fly. If you got a purpose, you've probably been busy. I've seen you on the phone while you've been waiting on me. You've probably been busy since your feet hit the floor.
Oh, yeah. That's
the next thing you know, it'll be 12 o'clock.
Monday's the busy day, and you look up and you're like, oh, man, I've already missed my lunch meeting. You know, don't realize what time it is.
But when you decide to go somewhere on the weekend, I found out the jobs give you this ability to do things and go to ball game. My son went to the Tennessee game and he was excited.
Probably had a blast.
He had a blast, and he told me about the big smoke out with the cigar.
Oh yeah,
when,
that's kind of funny. I didn't get to go. We had a wedding that we had to go to. I can't remember the last time I missed a Tennessee game in Tuscaloosa, but as soon as they started all the pregame stuff, I started getting videos from my son and pictures from my daughter. Man, you got to see these new lights. And then toward the end of the game, the fourth quarter, I've seen it before. It's just like a little smoke cloud rises up over the student section when they start.
They get fined for that?
Well, they mentioned it. I don't think they really do. They said they'll pay a fine or something, but that happens all the time.
When you ventured off into going into the Ford place, I'm pretty sure Chevrolet place and Troy had been so good that you wasn't scared to open a business right here in Troy. You wasn't scared to just.
And it's because of the people. You know, the people in Troy want to support local businesses. They want to stay at home. You know, an opportunity to add 25 employees.
That's what a guy told me. You know, I have a little small business other than what I do at Sanders, and a guy was asking me one time how was it doing. I said it was okay. It was Mr. Campbell's son-in-law, I believe it was, and he looked at me and said, "But you're putting food on some tables."
Yep.
You know, and that's what I think about when I look at people like you, and I look at people like Mr. Sanders. Put food on people's table. Give them a purpose to get up and something to have.
An opportunity.
And when I looked at Miss Judy today and she stood up here, I thought about this town as a great town to live in. How many towns that you can have a little old lady that come up here? And I was worried about coaching her. Did you see me when I just ran back and listened?
Lay back and let her have it.
Let her have it.
Let her go at it.
And she come asking me what was I going to ask her. I think she was going to be ready, but you know.
And probably everybody that's watching out there knew her.
Knew her.
Yeah, no doubt.
Knew her. And that's what I like about our community. That's what I like about our. I go to lunch, I see you at different lunch places, and you see me, and everybody knows everybody. I literally have been bad. I hate to pump gas. I hate
You sound like my wife.
I hate to pump gas, and when I get gas, I fill up. Now, when I do get gas, I fill up. I'm not going to tell the other person that hates to pump it too. I fill it up for him now. I don't, because every time I used to go to lunch with him, I think we're gonna run out of gas. So I fill it up for him now. But anyway, I was saying that I never worry, because if it quits, It'll be somebody within 5 or 6 minutes
Somebody's
to come by.
Somebody's
going to
ride by and recognize you and stop and get you, or
I have to drop my car off places to get stuff done. Because when I drop it off of you guys, y'all give me a ride. But I have dropped it off places and start walking.
yeah,
And just to see how far I get, you know.
before somebody will stop and get you.
Stop and get you. That's one thing about our town. Then we got Troy University, and hey, we got some of our little high school teams are doing it now.
Yes, we do.
They're doing it.
Yes,
Pike
we do.
County is
That's
undefeated.
it.
Goshen
Still.
only got 1 loss, and they're going to Holland Home.
And you know, if Goshen, at that time, they were kind of struggling to find. I do that football show with Mr. Mike on Thursday mornings, and I remember that game at that time. If Goshen had a field goal kicker at the time, they'd have won the game because they had first down inside the 10-yard line with a minute to go. Wound up getting beat by 1, I think. A field goal would have won it, but they'd already missed a couple.
We missed a field goal, and then we missed the extra point.
Right, and that's why they didn't have the confidence in the kicker. So
missed the extra point. But he was hurt the week before.
Right.
And he come back. But now, I went to the game Friday night. Jim, if he kick him like he's kicking him Friday night, we ain't got on.
And be in good
he
shape.
He was punting that ball.
Can we borrow him in Tuscaloosa on Saturdays? Because we need one. We need one.
What about the quarterback? What we gonna do about the quarterback?
Yeah, that's hopefully 1 week. We'll see.
They said surgery this morning.
They did that yesterday morning. Same thing that happened last year. High ankle sprain, and they go in, and I'm not sure exactly what the procedure's called, but it's just a little clip, and they attach it somewhere, and it's supposed to cut the recovery time in half. So they said he missed the Arkansas game and probably be back about 50-60% at practice next week after the Arkansas game, and then they got another week off. So.
And then they play you know who.
Yep. Coming to town on Saturday.
Coming to town. Are you going to that one?
I will. I've still got a daughter up there, so I go just about every opportunity I get.
Yeah. How many kids you got, Jim?
2.
2. And your dad is how old now?
My dad is 80.
I know he had been around a long time. I bought my first Z71 from your dad. I never will forget it. He showed me something that I didn't see. I just got in business in Brundage, and still what I've always been with Wilder Sons all my life. But I was trying a little something, and I needed a pickup, and I was gonna buy me a truck. I never had a new vehicle.
Yeah.
And I was looking at a work truck, and he walked out there, and he told me, he said, "That's a truck." He said, "Strictly to work with." He said, "But I can sell you a truck that you can work with and ride."
And be an everyday driver.
And be an everyday driver. And he took me over to that Brown Z71. And I never will forget it. I said, "I can get this truck?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." That's been a long time ago. Long time ago. You know, it's not many people that I could have on this show to go back as far as you can go back with the Sanders.
Since I came to town.
You can go back. You can go back.
We came August of '89, and of course, Steve and I are friends, James and I. Ton of vehicles that we've sold them through the years.
That would be another number.
Oh yeah, that'd be.
That would
just,
be another
just figuring that up. You know, we purge our files every 7 years because that's how far you're required to go back, and you know, every time we do that, there's a lot of Sanders files that come out and go in the shredder at that time because of the age. But I mean, there have been years where it, you know, 25, 30 vehicles a year probably back in the day.
You know, we was talking about Troy and the square the other week on this show. I was talking to some people, but people like you on the bypass help makes the square, because your guys leave your shop and go up there and buy lunch.
Especially on Fridays. Especially on Fridays, because nobody wants to get on 231 on Fridays.
And I'm trying to figure out what is the longest existing building on the square that's been open. I thought it was Berg Drugs, and I had him on the store, and he told me he wasn't.
The building itself or the business that's in it?
The businesses.
I have no idea. That'd be way back before my time.
Yeah. I'm just curious to know.
I don't know. You would think it would have to be.
I thought it would be Berg, but he told me it wasn't. I think I'm finding out. No, I forgot my research. I think I'm finding out it's going to be Douglas Brothers.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense now. Same side.
Same side.
Opposite ends. They were both there when I came to Troy in '89, and probably had been there for years and years before that.
Aren't you so glad of how our square has grown, though?
Oh, I am. My wife and I ate one night at one of the restaurants down there last week. Try to go down there, once every couple of weeks for dinner. Go down there for lunch occasionally.
To keep them going. That's
yeah,
right.
the new Italian place on the squares, good food, and of course, Bird Drugs, world famous milkshake sandwiches.
I tell them they just cook that bacon to make me go in there.
That's exactly right.
Sips on the Square.
Sips.
I had her in here last week, and just I'm finna be a granddaddy again. My
Congratulations.
son, we had a revealing party, and we had it at Sips on the Square. And I've got some pictures that they didn't know what I was looking at, but I was just looking at that little square, and everybody parked in the square. We had some motorcycles up there, and these young folks, they do a lot of stuff. And I'm anxious, because I'm on a son, and I'm open the paper, and they talking about there's no papers in this bag. You gonna do it from the motorcycle? And I'm like, what motorcycle? And they put this little thing up under the tire, and they crank it up. If it's a boy, it shoots out blue. If it's a girl, it shoots out pink.
And they did a burnout on top of it or something?
No, they didn't burn out. They just kind of rolled over it, and they just sends up smoke. Well, I'm standing there and I'm saying, well, they hurry up and do this because they having all these pictures. And another young person bumps on the side and says, Hoss, it's a boy. I said, well, how you know? I said, see the blue in front of the bag right there. So then I didn't care when they did.
You were happy getting what you wanted?
He give a friend, I think that was so nice how they did. He give a friend, let him go up there with him and had the doctor to give it to him. And I know the guy, he works at the new bank we got. What's the name of it? What's our new bank?
Wachovia?
Yeah. By Publix. No.
First Column.
First Column.
Correct.
Well, he works there. And I opened a little account with him when he first started working at it. Just kind of help him, and he told me would I do something with him, and I did. So I feel like me and him was buddies, and he ignored my call all week this week. Every time I'd call him, I'd get his answer, and he told me, he said, I couldn't say no, but I couldn't answer you. He said, also, if you would have asked me, I would have had to tell you. But that's what our community is built upon.
Oh, yeah.
That's what our community is built upon. People like you. Our sheriff, the sheriff was there yesterday. It's just good to be in a town where you actually look at your sheriff. You actually see him and don't get letters from him and stuff. We actually see ourselves.
How long Russell's been sheriff?
34 years.
34.
I did not know that.
I didn't
He was
remember.
on the show.
I couldn't remember another sheriff since we've been in town.
Yes.
So.
Okay. Well, we're going to go to commercial break. I see my next school just come in.
Well, I enjoy being here. I appreciate it. I saw this truck. I said, man, I need one of those for my desk.
You do?
It's amazing how many. No, I'm not taking that one. It's amazing how many of those trucks you see on the road everywhere in all different directions, no matter where you are.
No matter where you are.
No matter where you are.
And you know what? If you got it, a truck bought it.
That's exactly right.
We'll be right back with Reed State.
Wally Sanders Truck Line, money, money, money. Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We get you home on the weekend to watch football. Wally Sanders. Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend?
Wally Sanders.
Money, money, money. Let me have that football. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay, 4%. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Are you ready?
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, after 30 days of employment, that you can join our 401k retirement plan? That's right, we match it up to 4%. That's gross pay, 4% after 30 days of employment. Drive a Buck Division truck for Wiley Sanders Truck Line, be home twice a week and every weekend. You know, if these wheels roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, you make money. Home twice a week, every weekend. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, money, money, money. Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We get you home on the weekend to watch football. Wiley Sanders. Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend?
Wiley Sanders.
Money, money, money. Let me have that football.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
I apologize. I just found out I give you the wrong address.
Well, that's no problem. That's no problem. All that matters is that we're here.
That you're here. Well, you know, the first time me and you met, we did a commercial, and you teach guys how to drive trucks.
Absolutely.
Right there in where? Tell us where your place is.
Well, we're at Reed State Truck Driving School there in Evergreen, Alabama, 100 Highway 83. The best way to find us is if you go 65 South, we're at exit 96, right there on the exit. And we're excited about what we're doing at Reed State.
Okay, how many students do you, I mean, what would it take if I'm a student and I want to come to Reed State and try to get my CDL? What would be the first process that I would do?
Well, basically, you'd have to have a learner's permit. And that consists of reading the commercial driver's license manual, studying chapters 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and then go into DMV in your area and your location. And then once you've gotten that learner's permit, you have to hold it for approximately 14 days before you can either test or be prepared to come to our school. Okay. We have an 8-week program there, and we're excited. We normally serve about 8 to 12 students each 8 weeks.
Well, that's great. You know, what I like about Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders, we're honest people. I give you the wrong direction, so I'm extending right now. I'm telling you, November the 4th, you got to come back.
Wonderful. Be glad to come back.
I want you to come back, but I want you to do a little something different.
Okay.
I want you to bring some of your students with you.
Excellent.
I'm giving you plenty of time to get it set up. So November the 4th, I want Reed State back because you do too much and I dare not just rush it in this time. So rather than rush it in this time, I just say come back and we reschedule. But I am glad that you didn't give up. And go on, tell what you preach about yesterday. Come on, we got to go. What you preach?
Okay, actually, I talked out of Luke chapter 4, and I dealt with why did Jesus come preaching?
See, my pastor preached out of Luke.
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's evidence of the Holy Spirit working.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you. We thank you for listening to us. Another great edition of Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Remember this. If we know it, then we'll tell it. So if you know it, then you tell us. Anything that you're doing that's good for the community of Troy or Pike County, let me know. I promise you I'll talk about it. Until the next time, thank you and goodbye.
At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay, 4% Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.